compiler available on every platform or libraries. It's a structure object oriented programming, and one of the benefits is reusable code and library creation. It's an excellent error checking at compile time. It's a compiler is a translator which translates C++ to machine language in order to understand by the computer. And more translators are there, programming languages, interpreter and compiler and assembler. And C++ translator is the compiler. In this class, so overall discussions about the structure of C programming, data types, variables. So while declaration variables, what are the precautions to take, operators, statements, arrays, pointers, functions, structures, console input output, file input output, preprocessor instructions, comments. So these are all topics we are going to discuss today's class. So this is the form of a C++ program, and this is the include IO stream is the preprocessor statement. This is IO stream, that is input output stream. So .h is the indicator, that is the file extension of the header files. In previous classes we discussed about the library functions. In this library we are having the header files. In that header files we are having the standard functions. So this is include is the preprocessor statement, and main is the function. And beginning and end beginning of the bracket, end of the bracket, that is called the body of the program. For each and every completion of the statement we have to write the semicolon, and that it indicates the end of the statement. General form of C++ program. In any C++ program must have one and only one main function, and we can write more than one sub-functions. We can write more than one sub-functions, but there is only one main function. Remember that, including header files and library functions. Programmer chooses what to include in the executable. Header files declares the function to be linked in form of libraries. Hash include IO stream. So that is a read and write functions. So reading the data from the keyboard and writing the information to screens. And next one is the hash include math.h. That means it is a mathematical related functions are you going to use in this mathematical function. Square root, log, sine, absolute, cos, tan, like that, related to mathematical functions. Hash include this one. These are all the hash include is the preprocessor, and remaining is the library functions. Okay. In the file must be full, that is the preprocessor such as the predefined folders. And this is a Microsoft Visual Plus One. This is the different from this one. Each program is created within a project. A project can only contain one main function. Basically, each individual project is a program. Each project is stored in a folder. To open a project, the double click I have to use. And data types. So data types is that means types of data, different types of data. And here integer data type, float data type, and character data type, string data type, like that all data types are there. Character data type, it occupies the memory space in 1 byte, and integer usually 4 bytes. Float data type, that is 4 bytes. Integer is the number. Integer is the number which does not having any decimal point. And float is also one number, but it is having the decimal point, like 9.4, like that. So integer means round figure, 9, 16, 17, like that. Double, usually it occupies 8 bytes. Boolean, you know that already, it's we are using for the true or false in that one. And void means explicitly says function does not return any value and can represent a pointer to any data type. Size of the data type depends on a machine architecture. Example, 16-bit, 32-bit, like that. Variables. So variable also called, it's the identifier. For identical purpose, we are using these identifiers. Identifiers are nothing but variables. We are storing the values or the data in these variables. For example, integer a comma b comma c. So a, b, c are the integer variables. Observe here a equal to 1. That means 1 will be stored into the variable a, like that. Variable a. And see this example, integer I comma a. I is the variable and a is the variable. It is declared outside of the for loop. Outside of the for loop. And this for loop I equal to 0, that is the initialization, and I less than 10, that is the test condition. I plus plus is the updation section or increment section. That is the body of the loop. Operators, we are having so many operators, like arithmetical operators, relational operators, logical operators, increment decrement operators, assignment operators, bitwise operators. So like that, so many operators are there. For example, take arithmetical operator. Arithmetical operator means you can plus, minus, star, that is asterisk, modulus, division, div. So these are all the arithmetical operators. Modular means the remainder. When you are going to divide any number, you can get the remainder, that is called as modulus. And increment section, plus plus is the increment operator, and minus minus is the decrement operator. Generally, operator means it's a symbol. For example, a plus b. So plus is the symbol, or plus is the operator. It performs additional operation. And a and b are the operands. So, and where relational operators, less than or equal, greater than or equal, not equal, these are all comes under relational operators. And logical operators, and, or, not. So these are all logical operators. And statements we can using these statements we are going to write any programs. So the group of statements or sequence of statements writing in a logical manner, so that is called as a program. So while writing the statements, so first of all we have to know the syntax of the statement, structure of the statement. So how you are going to write the statements. So if it is anything wrong, it will come under the syntax error. Syntax error. A statement is a part of the program that can be executed. Then statements, simple statements, compound statements, conditional statements, and jumping statements, looping statements, like that. So many statements are there. In this slide, selection statement, iteration statement. Iteration statement, also called as repetition statement. Repetition statement, and it's also called as loop statement. And jumping statement, that is a simple, you can write as a go to statement. And expressions, like that, so many statements are there. Statements specify actions within a program. Generally they are responsible for control, flow, and decision making. For example, if statement, if is the conditional statement, it is taking the decision, if it is true, and if it is false, where you have to go, that means a statement, if statement. So expression is any condition that evaluates the true or false statement, could be another statement nesting. For example, if statement structure is if the test condition that should be enclosed in the parenthesis, that means brackets. So that is a rule. So if the test condition is true, the statement is the very next line of the if statement will be executed. Otherwise it will be skipped. So that is a simple statement. In simple statement we are having the only one possibility, and one more statement is that is called as if else statement. If else statement, that means it will be having the two possibilities. If the test condition is true, it reads the true block. Otherwise it reads the else block or false block. So that is a if else statement. And a condition is one or more expressions that evaluate true or false expressions that can be linked together by logical operators. For example, two test conditions are there. By using logical operator, logical AND, we can joining together two separate test conditions. We can join with the help of the logical AND operators. That is conjunction, like that. In that logical AND, if more than one test condition in the statement, if all the test conditions that should be true, then only the entire statement will become true. If any one of the test condition is false, the entire statements will become false. So whereas if you are going to use this OR, logical OR, if any one of the test conditions is true, and the entire statements become true. So that is the main difference between the logical AND and logical OR. And then the selection statement is nothing but switch statement. Switch. These statements are having the more than two possibilities, more than two choices are there, more than two possibilities. This statement works. Only with integers and characters. It only checks for the identical value. A switch statement and expression, if case A matches, the block will be the related block will be executed. If not match case A, it will come down to the case B, and it is not suitable with expression, it will come to the case C and case D and case, like that. One after another will come down to the all cases. if all cases matches are failed, and finally it goes to the default and it's a default case label is optional. If it is compulsory, we can use, otherwise we can skip the default. Not compulsory, default is not compulsory. And after completion of the block, we are going to use the break statement. The break statement, it is used to the control will come out of the switch structure, unnecessarily read the next block. So as soon as reads the break statement, the controls will come out of the switch structure. If the break statement is absence, the unnecessarily all the blocks of statements will be executed. Iteration or repetition or loops, so all the same names. So we are having the while loop, for loop, while do while loop. Three loops we are having in the C++ programming language: while loop, do while loop, and for loop. And this while loop is also called as entry control loop, and do while is called as exit control loop. Loop is it's a repetitive task. Loop is a repetitive task. It's allowed to repeat execution until the test condition becomes false. So as long as the test condition is true, the control will be, the block of the statements will be repeated again and again. If suddenly the test condition becomes false, the repetition process will be stopped. That is called as loop termination. So this is the while loop. While test condition, and that below that a body of the while loop. So like the C out, type a key to finish, C in C, like this. These are all whatever in the in between the braces. Those are all body of the loop. If C not equal to Q, so that is a test condition. If the test condition is true, it will come down to the body of the loop, and that or block of the statements. All the statements will be read, and again it will go back to the beginning of the loop, and test condition is checked second time. If the second time is true, and again it will come down to the block of the statements, and will read all the statements, and again it will go back to the beginning of the loop. This same process will be repeated again and again until the test condition becomes false. So the same procedure will be repeated. And go to statement is the jumping statement. Jumping, that means it jumps from one location to another location. It jumps from one location to another location. Simply the controls will be transferred from one location to another location, so without asking any condition. So as go to statement. Jumping statement. So break statement generally it interrupt the execution process, and that is opposite, complete opposite is the continue statement, is the continue the execution process. And go to statement is the controls will transfer from one location to another location. Expressions. An expression statement is anything that ends with a semicolon. So for example, function a equal to b plus c, that is a semicolon. That semicolon means so the statement completed. Expressions or equations or statements, anything after that we can use a semicolon. Arrays is a collection of elements of same data type placed in adjacent memory locations that can be individually referenced by using an index to a unique identifier. Unique identifier. The elements within a fields within a square bracket representing the number of elements in the array must be constant expression, since arrays are blocks of static memory whose size must be known as compile time. It allocate the, for example, integer a comma a of 5. That means the 5 locations will be reserved for the array A. We can store the 5 numbers into the location. That is, array is always by default it is starting from 0. That is called as a of 0, a0, a1, a2, a3, a4, like that. The last one is the a4, and totally we are having the 5 memory locations, but there is no a5, a of 5, because of it is 0, starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, totally 5 memory locations. And in arrays, we're having the single dimensional arrays and two dimensional arrays and character arrays, like that. Arrays are there. And two dimensional, multi dimensional arrays, it is very useful to the matrices programs. In mathematics, matrices we are using them. And we are using for this outer loop and inner loop, that is called as a nested loops. Nested loops we can use. Nested loops. The elements in array can be explicitly initialized to specific values when it is declared by enclosing those initial values in braces. The number of values between braces shall not be greater than the number of elements in the array. Character arrays is nothing but strings. So string is it's a group of characters that should be enclosed in the double quotations. Character strings are arrays of type character. Many functions dedicated to manipulating string string.h. In string.h means string header files. We are having so many string handling functions like string concatenation, string copy, string reverse, string length, string compare, so like that. So many string handling functions are there. And after string in array, the null character is provided automatically. That is called as a terminator. That it indicates the end of the string. So we can avoid the garbage values or unnecessary, unwanted data. We can eliminate with the help of null characters. Multi-dimensional arrays can be described as arrays of arrays. So within the arrays, two-dimensional arrays, table made up for elements of the same elements. And pointers. So pointer is a variable, just like any another type of variable. So, but the difference is that holds the address of another variable. They have data type just like variables. The integer type pointer can hold the address of integer variable, and the character type pointer can hold the address of character variable. The variable contains the memory address of a certain data type. The address of is in either stack memory or heap memory. Any automatic user defined data type can be pointed. The value of the pointer's data type can be obtained. Obtaining the value pointed to in memory is called dereferencing. Dereferencing. So unary operators are used frequently with pointers, star and ampersand symbol. Ampersand symbol for address operator and star it indicates that this is the pointer. Using pointers incorrectly will almost certainly crash things. Pointers are the most useful features in C++. Pointers. So here float a equal 3.142. So that is A is the float type, and next one is a float star PA equal to ampersand A. So that means PA variable is the pointer variable. It holds the address of A variable. Address of A variable. Observe the slide here. Address of these memory locations. So while handling the arrays with pointers, so you need to take care of just a few things. So first and very important point is note regarding arrays is that the array name alone represents the base address of array. So while assigning the address of array to pointer, we cannot use ampersand symbol before the name, because of the array name itself is the base address. Thus the name of array is also a pointer. That means the name itself is the base address. There is no need to write the ampersand symbol before the array name. Stack memory is allocated at a compile time when the size of an object is already known. Unless declared static, the stack memory is freed when object is no longer in scope. Functions is a distinct body of the code that returns a value, even value is nothing at all. So function is the modularity. This is the one more advantage of an C++. So functions, it's all called. So you have two types, that is in standard library functions and the user defined functions. Observe the examples and slides. A function returns a value. The value is specified with the return. The value returned must be the same type as the function. Arguments passed a function in one of three ways. By value, by reference. So that is also called as call by value and call by reference. So sending the values from one function to another function is a call by value, and sending the address of variable from function one function to another function is the function reference. And next one is through a pointer to the argument. Arguments are the two types. One is actual argument and the formal arguments. So generally the values are passing through arguments. The structure is one of the most important features in C++. So in arrays we can give more than one element in a single name, but same data type we have to give. So this is the small disadvantage while giving the one student data. For example, hall ticket number, student name, and marks and percentage. These are the different data types. So student hall ticket number is in integers and name in string or characters, and percentage in float type. So these are all different data types, and arrows are not allowed. So in this inconvenience we can avoid using with the help of structures. So structures are the same thing. We can store the different elements, different data types in one location. Structure are a C concept replaced in C++ with the class concept. Objects of a class can be completely defined as the new type data. Console input output. The console is a command window. C++ uses the left shift, right shift operators to write and read. That means less than, greater than symbols we are using. C++ recognizes what sort of data you want to read or write and acts accordingly. Use manipulators to format I/O. And file handling, file input output. And file handling provides a mechanism to store the output of a program in a file and perform previous operations on it. In C++, we have set of file handling methods. These includes if stream, off stream, and f stream. So these classes are derived from the f stream base and from the corresponding IO stream class. So similar to console input output, different types of stream for input and output, file streams defined in fstream.h. So in this we can create a file, that means opening a file, writing into file, and reading from a file, and close a file. Files are used to store data in storage devices permanently. Generally the outputs are the temporarily. So when the input data is a huge amount of data and the output is very valuable. So in these cases, so we can store permanently the output data. File handling provides a mechanism to store the output of a program in a file and to perform various operations on it. In C++, we have a set of file handling methods, and these are all methods, and these classes are derived from the fstream base and from the corresponding IO stream classes. So these classes designed to manage the disk files are declared in the fstream and therefore we must include fstream, and therefore we must include this file in any program that uses files. And all the above classes are derived from fstream base and from the corresponding iostream class, and they are designed specifically to manage the disk file files. Open, it is used for the creating a file. Reading data. Writing a new data. Closing a file. And generally the first operation performed on an object of one of these classes is to associate it to a read file. This procedure is known as to open a file. So first it is bypass the file name in constructor at the time of object creation. Second is using the open function. So as soon as the program terminates, the memory is erased and frees up the memory allocated and closes the files which are opened. So, but it is very better to use the close function to close the opened files after the use of the file. And preprocessor instructions allows the programmer to choose what source code the compiler sees. So very useful for writing programs that are portable between Unix and Windows. Comments, two types of comments: slash, star, something. So whatever you want to go write it, and end with the star and slash. Or otherwise, the second type is two slashes. And actually, comments are the writing in slash star. And between star and slash, it is a non-executable statement. It is a non-executable statement. So these comments are purely for the users. So what is the program and what is the purpose of going to write the program? These are all comments. So the comments we can write anywhere in the program. It may be middle of the program or top of the program, anywhere. No restrictions, no objections. Comments are very useful for operators. But the system is not going to execute. Those are all non-executable statements.